Welcome back to Now What Cuz episode 3 with our special guest, Alex Lindsay. Alex also happens to be a cousin of ours. Alex, what's going on, bro?
Not much. What's up, boys? Thanks for having me.
It's nice to have you here.
Oh yeah, it's great to be here.
Nothing like a bunch of cousins in the same place at the same time.
On Now What Cuz?
I love the name.
It's great, isn't it?
It's a good name. I like it.
Alright, so
What's
we're...
up, for real? What's going on?
Nothing.
Give me an update. Everybody give me an update in their lives.
let's see. Promotion. New gig. Excited.
The news was today, or was it this week?
It was yesterday. Wait, what's today? Saturday?
Today is Saturday.
Yeah, I got it Friday. So Friday I got the notification.
Congratulations, homie.
Like the middle of the day at work, you just get like an email or something, or
So-
a call.
Someone on my team got pushed up into a more R&D engineering position, and that opened up the opportunity for me to get pushed up role into like a field service engineer but mechanical engineer role. So I put in the application for it. I did the interviews. We did an internal interview, so they kind of tried to do it as fair as possible, obviously, to make sure that external and internal candidates had as good a chance as everybody else. And Friday, my new boss messaged me on Teams and asked if I had a sec, and broke the news to me via quick chat after we were busy putting out a dumpster fire.
When did you do this interview?
I did the interview Thursday the week prior.
Holy cow! So you've been waiting for a week to get results from this?
Thursday the week prior was the first one. I should have clarified. And then the second one was the Wednesday that same week that I got the offer. So all in all, like, what, 2 days it took for them to make a decision?
Do you have a lot more work now in your new role, or is it kind of the same?
It's like 30% of the same was what I was doing before, with the difference being more engineering projects, so more designing, more CAD, more responsibility within the system, the client network that we have, and a little bit of travel to customer sites when necessary.
Ooh, that's gonna be new. Traveling.
Yeah, that's going to be
You're gonna have to
new.
leave the baby.
I know.
It'll be
How's that
exciting,
gonna
though.
go?
It will
Yeah,
definitely
it
be
should
exciting. But that's really all I got going on at the moment. What about you, Lindsay? What you got going on, bro?
I mean, I just got a new gig myself. I mean, I've been there for like about a month, but I'm starting to settle in, which is good.
How you liking it so
But
far?
I'm actually liking it a lot.
Do you feel like
What's up?
in comparison to what you were doing before, are you learning more? Are you using some of the same skills?
Oh, dude, I'm learning so much more. And I'm using a lot of the same skills. Just, I don't know, maybe doing stuff that's a little more fulfilling, a little more interesting, and actually learning something new, which is nice.
What do you do?
So, let's see. So, it's a small finance firm in Boston, and I'm kind of like in the middle of like the portfolio management and like also like just like the client-facing role. So, I do a little bit of both, I guess. Like just assisting clients when they need help with like inquiries and whatnot, but also doing like some of the portfolio management stuff. So, it's pretty interesting.
That's pretty cool. I have a friend right now. He's in Rhode Island at one of Fidelity's like branches, and he's in like the most entry-level finance position you can have. But he does like customer calls. He works basically with assets and like setting up people's portfolios and
Yeah,
all that kind of stuff. And he loves it. He thinks it's so cool.
that's
so-
good.
It's a good for him at least, he's getting his feet wet in the field to see if it's something that he can do long term. And like I think he obviously has like a big ladder to climb up, but he's really happy with what he's doing right now, which is great.
Yeah, no, that's good.
It's
Like,
How do
definitely...
you get into what you got into? Like could anyone get your position if they apply, or do you need some certain experience in the field?
So, honestly, technically, I think this job required like 3 years experience in the in just like the financial services industry. But there are some people coming in that have been in the industry for like 20 years. So, I think they do value experience a lot because I don't know, we do a lot of clients are unique, and like you kind of end up doing a little bit of everything. So I think they like people that can just kind of know how to pivot, and they like people who kind of You
I
just
think
kind of do everything, kind of.
yeah, being well versed in multiple areas is essential to have any job now. And like
Yeah.
things as simple as like graphic design, like those are the most open fields you can do anything in, but like you need to be able to create like a website. You also need to be able to have good email skills to talk to your clients. It's not just a
E-
matter of being able to produce
Communication.
the art.
Exactly.
They're also very
So
heavily saturated fields now.
yeah, that's the other thing is like the job market is just really tough. I hear people like with comp sci degrees are struggling for months on end just to get a job because they're oversaturated. There's too many positions. Then there's the idea of ghost jobs where companies are just putting up interview or not interview but job like applications you can fill out that they're not actually trying to fill that position. It's just there so that they can look like they're trying to hire.
Yep, and that is a real thing that I've encountered a handful of
Didn't you say
times.
that that has happened to you before? Because you were looking for, you sent out like hundreds of applications, right?
Yes,
And
I did.
you gone through so many interviews. I remember this.
It was a very brutal time period, dude. That's
Yeah, it's
just
stressful too because it's like even jobs that like should be easy to get, all of a sudden it's like you can't get them because these companies don't want to hire anyone. It's not
it's.
a matter of
I think it's a mixture of not truly wanting to hire, but also the prerequisite due to the oversaturation has been higher education. So instead of a bachelor's and like a year or two of experience, they now want someone with a master's degree or a PhD in that field, just
yeah,
because it's so saturated. And that's kind of how they're weeding out candidates and why it's becoming
education creep.
why it's becoming so much harder to get jobs.
It's wild, and people are getting more competitive every single year as time progresses. So like your applicant, and like not to mention things like ChatGPT and other AI services that can make you a solid resume. These things weren't available before, and people were less competitive. But now that they're widespread, and anyone can use it for free, mind you. It's like how can you like you're just like dumb to have a bad resume. Your resume can be done very well with the use of AI. You don't have to have any kind of education, no training. You do it all literally in a matter of like 10 minutes.
Agreed. AI is a super useful tool.
But I guess what I'm trying to say is like the more time goes on, the more competitive other applicants get. And I'm experiencing this right now with med school applications. If you were to try to be a doctor 30 years ago, you just had to say, I think I want to be a doctor. And then you apply to schools and you get accepted. And that's how it worked. Like, obviously you had to have like some good grades. You had to like figure out if you actually wanted to do the doctor thing. And if you didn't, then you dropped out because it wasn't nearly as expensive as it was now. But now if you want to be a doctor, you have to go volunteer. You have to go and get research hours. You need publications. You need to have a 4.0 GPA. You need to do well on your MCAT exam. Just because you did all that still means you have like a 5 to 10% chance of getting accepted. It's like incredibly cutthroat because the pool of applicants is that much more competitive.
So this kind of leads me to my next question. Do you think the saturation is due to talent and competition, or just the sheer volume of applicants?
I think it's both. There's more people that want to be a doctor, especially with it's a recession-proof job. So like it's just kind of like all around. It's like you get good money from it, and then you in times where there's recessions or the economy is not very stable, you're always gonna have work because everyone's gonna need a doctor. So like I think that's a big reason more people are getting on the wave like, oh, I think I want to apply. But also education's gotten better, technology's gotten better, people have more like access to resources for studying, so they're able to study more efficiently. Like there's no more gatekeeping. Like if you did well on the test, you could just find out how to do this like very well on tests online, watch a YouTube video, and people are doing better, and for that reason they're more competitive as an applicant. And then everyone goes from being like a 3.0 student to like everyone's a 3.7 GPA student, and now they have way more opportunities in the field. At least you think they would, but everyone looks the same on paper, so you need to have some crazy X factor. Like I went to the circus for 4 years while I was an undergraduate, and you should hire me because I maintained a 3.7 GPA while I was in the circus. And I wish I was joking, but that actually is like something that people would accept you to a medical school for it because you stand out.
It makes sense. It really does. Which leads me to a segment. I love these.
The first segment of the day.
Oh yeah, it's
So
gonna
how
be a
does this
beautiful
work?
one.
Because we have Alex. Are we gonna have like both of us?
Yeah, both you guys. It's a free for all.
okay.
If Alex feels comfortable taking a shot at it, then he's
You know
more
what?
than welcome
I
to.
like that. I like that. I may
All
stay
right.
quiet for this one, but let's hear it.
Sci-fi or sci-fact?
I love this. This is a great one.
All right.
Well,
So the first thing that we're gonna kick off here, I'm gonna do two. It's called the Dream Recorder. It's a device that captures and replays dreams like movies. What do you guys think? Real or fake?
Fake.
I'm
Why?
gonna say-
Why?
I just don't think we can record dreams.
Yeah, like I've never. Yeah.
You can record the brainwaves of dreams, but like, and kind of know when someone's dreaming based on their REM sleep. But other than that, yeah, I don't. You can't record a dream. I think it's
Yeah.
too advanced.
I agree.
All right. Well, jokes on both of you guys because it's fiction.
I freaking knew
That's
it.
what we said. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm seeing playing the fool, man.
When you did say
Hyping it
jokes
up.
on you, I was a little nervous, and I'm like, actually,
Yeah.
there's no way you're playing a gag.
All right. This one is actually pretty cool. I like this one. It's called a neural dust sensor, and it is a tiny wireless sensor implanted into the body to monitor brain activity and health.
What's the scale? Can I ask context question?
If I have an answer for them, I'll give them to you.
Is it like a small, like electrode looking thing? Where do you implant it? In the
I
brain?
don't know the answer to that. I know it just goes into the brain.
I think it's real.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say. I think
Wait.
it's
You
real,
said
too.
wireless?
Yep.
I think it's real.
I'm agreeing with the doctor over here. I think it's real.
Well, doctor was correct. Scientists are currently
yeah.
developing neural dust technology to monitor and stimulate nerves wirelessly for medical applications.
Yeah, so this is actually kind of cool because it connects back to Neuralink. Neuralink is wireless as well, but have you seen the guy that I think he's in a wheelchair?
The gamer.
Yeah, and he
No.
has Neuralink, and he's able to use it to like play games. I think he was using it to like move a mouse cursor or something like that. It's all wireless, but same idea. I think is like you can monitor the brain activity. So that's why I thought that would be real. To use that in like the clinic, I think that has really cool potential because if you can make it alter brainwaves, you can do a lot of cool stuff. One of the things that is really interesting is if you use really strong magnets, kind of like an MRI machine has just really, really strong magnets. It's a little different, but same thing. There's something called transcranial magnetic stimulation, TMS for short. People are using this for depression, and there's a little area in the front of your brain called the orbitofrontal cortex. And in depressed people, I'm not going to go very in detail, but basically this area is just kind of smaller. That's more of a symptom of the depression than a cause, but the two play on each other like a feedback loop. So in these people, they have a smaller orbitofrontal cortex. If you use TMS, it can stimulate through really strong magnetism. It creates an electric field and activates the orbitofrontal cortex. And people that have depression see increases in the activity of this area, and as a result, end up less depressed. It's so fascinating. So if you do that with a little Bluetooth chip that you put in the brain, you don't have to put them in this like huge magnet machine for 15 to 30 minutes. You can do a lot of cool stuff, and people with depression now have a new way to deal with the symptoms without having to go to the hospital every week.
So is this a replacement for traditional medication?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I think at the end of the day, all of it works best in conjunction with like behavioral therapy and medication management. So a combination of everything would probably give the best results. But overall, I think it'd be pretty cool to see how that develops. So I think it's a good development overall. I'm not too sure how many people are bullish on implanting a little chip in their brain, but you never know if it is going to cure you from killing yourself. Like, I think it'd be worth it. So.
And I don't recall if you already elaborated on the fact, is this a wirelessly activated device? Can it be
TMS?
monitored remotely? Yeah.
TMS is like a machine. It's kind of like an MRI machine where you position yourself in a chamber and they activate it for certain periods of time. So like you'd go to the hospital and then they would give you a 30-minute session. And they might do that like 5 times over the course of a day, and then you leave and you come back like the next day or like a week later and do it again. And then it's kind of like a long-term way over short periods of time to help relieve symptoms of depression.
But does this
They also
device
do-
connect to the internet though?
No, this doesn't. But you could do, what I'm saying is if you have this little Bluetooth chip that can impact your brain waves, and you implant this in the brain,
Ah, I
as
see.
the new invention, then it can kind of replace the TMS idea and do it in a much more portable and smaller way that you don't have to go to the hospital every single time you want to get a treatment. You can just say, hey doc, can you send the impulses over right now? And they'll be like, yeah, I got you. And then you get the treatment, and there goes your depression for a few days.
I see. Because I was going to bring up the cybersecurity concerns about it being
Oh, like
connected to the
hacking it?
internet.
That is another
Yeah.
concern. If you can do something Bluetooth, that's something you have to think about. And I actually didn't think about that, so this is where you come in handy. It's having that multifaceted approach.
Exactly. Now, I want to do a little bit of a topic pivot because I know that this is something that Alex was talking about prior to us going live. And I've been meaning to ask you this. With the recent sort of, I'm just going to call it fuckery because that's what it is. With the recent fuckery in dating, how did you feel about finding someone in this day and age with technology and all the dating apps that we have access to?
Oh, like
And-
Hinge, Tinder, Bumble. Stuff
Yeah,
like
and just like the overall lack of actual real communication with people.
Bro just absolutely died.
Wait, you asking me?
Could you not hear me?
Oh, I didn't hear you. I thought you two were going back and forth a lot. I just got really focused in this game. Ah,
No, I was saying like, you know, with dating, modern dating now, how do you guys feel it's going for you? How did it go for you, Anthony, specifically well, now that you have a girlfriend now, you've been had a girlfriend for a while, like how did that come about? What were the things that you did differently in the modern dating realm? This isn't something I've had to worry about, but I know a lot of people who are struggling right now, and I'm curious to see what the insights are.
You want to go first, Alex?
yeah. I don't know. Like, I like it and I hate it. I guess. Like, I don't know. I feel like it just makes it easy to meet people, which I guess is good. And like, I don't know. Sometimes it could be kind of a numbers game. But I don't know. I feel like it was kind of like more genuine back in the day,
Do
like
you
before what the dating apps took over.
Do you think it's been better or worse for you? Like, do you,
Let me think about
do you
that
miss?
for a second.
Yeah, absolutely. You can come back to that.
I mean, I don't know. I think about this sometimes. I don't know if it's worse. Like, it could just be. I'll admit, I haven't been having as. I had more fun back in the day, but that could just be because I'm older. Like, that's the way I think about it.
That's fair. It's
So
totally
are you
fair.
on the apps? Are you using like Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, stuff like
Yeah,
that?
I mean, I primarily just use Hinge.
I think everyone I talk to says Hinge is the best. What is it that makes it better than Tinder and Bumble?
I don't know. What I like about it is, if somebody likes you, you'll definitely see it. So I don't know. I feel like it's just easier to meet people on there.
Okay.
Like, it's not like they don't have to, like, it's not like a chance of two people swiping right on each other like Tinder and Bumble. Like, if I like someone, she'll get a notification and she can match with me, and like vice versa.
Yeah, it's way more open book. I kind of do like that.
Yeah,
That's neat.
because like I don't know, there's sometimes someone might swipe on you or something like that, but maybe they're not in your filters, so the chances that you match with them is not gonna happen. You know what I mean?
I've
Where it's like,
heard that the longer you're on the app, the harder it is to actually like date somebody. Like, for example, if you're
that
on
might
the
be me
app
right now.
and you don't like get off the app and go like start texting or go to Snapchat or something and go that way, then you're gonna keep swiping and then you lose contact with the person you originally liked. So you won't go on.
Oh, I
dates,
know
and
what
then
you mean.
It's like a
Yeah.
endless cycle.
I mean,
So
I
let's
try to
tie
get the
this-
number quick.
Let's tie this back into mental health real quick, especially men's mental health, because I feel like that's not talked about enough.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel at a point in time that your mental health was affected in the current dating realm because of the stereotypical men need to be 6 foot something, they need to have a six-figure job. They need to have this. They need to do that. Has that ever personally affected you in your dating journey?
So I'm 5'8". For a long time I was 5'8", 105 pounds. I'm 5'8", 150, like on the dot basically right now. And I'm gonna say something you wouldn't expect. I'm gonna say no. It's never come to my attention that sure I'm 5'8". Like I have thought before, like wow, I'm 5'8", I'm pretty short, but it's never like affected the way that I think about relationships or dating. Mostly because I think that I just like shorter girls. Most girls I like are 5'2", 5'3", and like that's still a 5 to 6 inch height difference between us. I also have never really had to use any kind of like a dating app or anything. I've never installed Tinder. I've never installed any kind of dating app on my phone. I guess I've just been
Okay, my
lucky.
bad. I didn't know you were Rico Suave over here.
I think I've been lucky, like right time, right place kind of thing, where you always find someone when you're, I don't know, I'm not necessarily looking for something, and then all of a sudden it pops up and things go well, and then we're dating. Like that's how it's been for my past 3 relationships. So I can't contribute much to the whole dating app conversation, but I can say is that I've definitely never been self-conscious about the 5'8" thing for dating. Or at least like, earning like 6 figures or anything like that. You know, I'm only 23, so.
That's fair. See, I have that pressure put on myself a lot with being a high earner and trying to make as much money as I possibly can and put myself in better positions, especially to have a family to take care of, you know. So I've felt that, but not on the relationship side of things. Now, I've also had some pretty big struggles. Like, I know that it's good to be tall, and a lot of people feel like it's an advantage and they enjoy it and whatnot, but yeah, I used to hate it for the longest fucking time, dude.
Being tall.
There was just so many expectations of you. Like, oh, you gotta go and try out for the basketball team. You need to play football. You have to do this. You have to do that. And it's just like, yeah, that's all fun and well, but like eventually it just got to a point where it's like, dude, I don't want to shove down my throat every time I talk to somebody, you know?
And if you ever want to hide away, you really can't because you're just standing above everybody. If
No,
you wanna stick out
exactly.
in the crowd, you're the one that sticks out first.
It's brutal. It's rough. But anywho, that was besides the point. I just wanted to throw that out there and kind of get some feelers on that. So I'm happy that you guys took the time to contribute the
Well, what
opinions
is
a little
that
bit.
like? Have you said anything about the 6-foot high earner thing?
Nah, I was waiting for my turn.
Oh, my bad, dude. I'm a terrible host.
You good, Obi? I'll admit, like I never really felt like self-conscious about anything, like dating-wise. Maybe when I was younger, like I don't know. When I was like in my early 20s, I just feel like girls like older guys. Like maybe I felt like girls were just picking older guys over me, but like I never really felt like self-conscious about it. Like the whole like 6 figures, 6 feet kind of thing.
I wonder if that's just something that's more so being tossed onto the younger generation now.
That and I think just so.
Well, you see people online like Andrew Tate, and he is
Yeah.
like the epitome of that. It's like, oh, you don't have a Bugatti? Come on.
You have a
A
small
lot of people
penis.
know A lot of people know it's just like kind of cap though. I don't know.
Yeah, he's definitely just an internet persona. At least that was my interpretation. But
I think that for us, we see through that thing, like, but a lot of people don't.
No, that's
and
true. Well,
You'd be surprised how many people actually buy into that. What did he start, like Hustlers University or something like that, like Tate University?
oh, dude,
That's
that was
how they make their money.
brutal.
People
Yeah.
buy that
So
stuff.
people-
Like it's
so
not
do
just
people-
a joke.
Yeah. So people do clearly think that way. Some people.
And I will say, I don't think he's an asshole for like, if you willingly give somebody your money, knowing damn well that that's not something that you might actually benefit from, that's on you. So I can't give him shade
I agree.
for hustling, but like, I also think that he doesn't. Maybe he does, but I don't think he truthfully understands the influence that he has. And if he does, and he's taking advantage of people, then, you know, that's a different conversation. But at face value, it's just, I have a heart, like, even with the people who got scammed by the Hawk Tuah Bitcoin thing, or the meme
I didn't
coin.
know about that.
Oh yeah, dude, she released a meme coin and just instantly sunk its value, and it just went to shit. And a lot of people lost a lot of money.
Isn't
and they were
that
mad.
legal?
Yeah.
It
And
is.
it's like it's their fault. Do you know what I
Don't
mean? Like,
face like criminal time for that.
I'm not sure what the
Uh,
ongoing
That's
development is
stock
for that,
market
but
manipulation. I
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's. Do you guys know the GameStop guy,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Keith Gill? He was he faced. He had to pay like fines for the GameStop stock, even though he genuinely liked the stock. At least, I don't think he intentionally manipulated it and made people buy, but he had to face time because he had people buy this stock, and then it lost a lot of value, and people
He
lost a
pissed
lot
off-
of money.
He pissed off a lot of like the hedge funds.
But who knows? It could just be that it only affected the rich people, and since it affected the rich people, it actually had some repercussions.
Yeah, like I don't know, like where it's cryptocurrency, I don't know, it might be kind of different when it comes to all the legal stuff.
Yeah, I'm not too well versed in the legal scene. I'm not gonna lie, but
But he pissed off like all of Wall Street and shit. So I think that's why he got all those fines.
I
Yeah.
think that's where it comes. So, with that being said, I want to switch over to another segment real quick. This one's fun. I'm just gonna call this a debate segment. I'm gonna throw out a random topic, and I just want to hear your opinion on it. First
I'm
one:
down.
should AI therapists be allowed to prescribe medication?
Good question.
No, but I think they should exist. The prescription thing is tough because you've seen how I've seen both sides. I've seen how AI can be really helpful in helping people get through really difficult times in their lives, and they use it as a therapist. And I think if that works for them, they should continue to do that. I strongly believe they should not be able to prescribe medication because even with a million regulations set in place, people can trick AI into doing a lot of things, including like the stuff like DeepSeek blocking out talking about Tiananmen Square. Like, people find loopholes in that to be able to get it to talk about Tiananmen Square. The same way people would find ways to get this AI to prescribe them heroin or other substances that should not be prescribed at any stretch of the imagination. So no, I don't think they should be able to. I do think they should exist though, to help people through hard times.
I think that's fair. That was a very well articulated answer. I don't think I can really debate you on that. Damn it.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, like I don't know. I
should just let
definitely
you guys
agree.
put out really controversial takes and then not say anything and see how far it goes. I think we squashed that one really quick.
All right. Well, fuck you. But I love you at the same time.
If there's like, maybe if there's like an actual licensed psychiatrist or something, actually
working in conjunction with the
approving
two.
the script, then maybe that's okay.
That's actually a great point. I think that the two would work well together because
Yeah.
it would improve efficiency of actual psychiatrists tenfold, and then
They
you'd
can, like,
actually be
read the
able to
law.
get an appointment with one. And
Exactly.
things like that increase efficiency are great. There's AI like being able to help in diagnosing like radiology imaging. That's another great one. They're like about 98% accurate as far as diagnosing abnormalities in radiology. Unbelievable. And if you use that in clinic as supervised by an actual licensed radiologist, you get so much efficiency and so much better diagnosing because it even catches things that radiologists miss sometimes. It's a promising field. I love the AI stuff.
The AI stuff is awesome.
Someone's changing too.
It's ever changing, dude. It's nonstop. I'm gonna ask one more, and then I have another topic that I want to hit in this podcast. Next one: would it be ethical for your self-driving car to refuse to take you to the gym because it knows that you're gonna skip your workout?
Wait, what?
If you had a fully autonomous self-driving car, and you requested that it was gonna take you to the gym, but based off of your habits outside of the gym and inside the gym, it could predict that you were gonna skip your workout. Would it be ethical for it not to take you to the gym based on that information?
To me, the question is like asking, it's like, you bought a blender. Is it okay for the blender not to make you what you're trying to make because it knows you're not going to eat it? It's like, should my own object that I own not do what it's supposed to do for me? And I'm going to say no. But the other aspect comes in saying, is it trying to save the world by lowering carbon emissions, and it knows I'm not actually going to work out, so why should it take me to the gym anyways? That's a more interesting take. And I'm still going to say no because you're trying to do something and it might think that you don't want to go, but you might end up working out anyways. So I don't know. That's a weird question.
I
I'm saying
think.
no too.
Okay, so I'm just gonna play devil's advocate for this one. I think if the car was able to actually predict your gym habit and routine, and had an informed decision that it knew you were just gonna skip the gym and skip your workout, I think absolutely. A, why waste? I'm a 50-50 about electric cars, especially ones that are self-driving, and I'm assuming that if it's a self-driving car, it would be electric. I don't know the long-term effects of being exposed to batteries that long, let alone have the fact that electric cars are way worse for the environment than actual gas cars are. That's a different topic for another day, and I'm not even going to get into that right now, but you're just going to have to trust me on that. There's research on it. I've studied it enough to know it exists. They're not good.
I think that they'd be good if people use them the way they were intended, but they just recycle them
Yeah,
and
that's
don't
the
use
issue.
it for the lifespan. And then when you create more, it's actually worsening the issue of the waste. So
That's basically it at a high level overview. But if the car knows that you're going to skip the gym, then there's no point in wasting your time, the car's time, adding miles to a car that is just going to probably just get disposed of in the improper way, contributing to a worse environment. I think it's just silly to not let AI help you in that sense and not try and make you more efficient and effective with your time throughout the day. If you genuinely were going to go to the gym and work out, then that's one thing. But if your habits are showing that today's the day that you're likely not going to do anything when you show up, your time would be better suited elsewhere. And I think that it's helping you before you'd even know it.
I'm saying no, just because if you're thinking of skipping the gym, you should go anyway.
I agree.
he's got a beast mode grind set mentality.
But dude, there's
This
some
guy
days I'm
is
like,
David Goggins.
well, there's some days like, oh man, I really don't want to go to the gym today, and they end up being the best workout. So it's like, I don't know.
And I
love
agree
that.
with you, dude. There's half the time I work
And it's
out,
just-
and I'm
yeah.
just like, I don't even want to finish this workout, but I'm going to do it anyways.
Yeah, you're already like like a lot of people say getting your foot in the door in the gym is half the battle sometimes, and then it all just kind of falls into place.
It's true.
All right.
You know,
have
people
to
need
get
to get
there.
healthier these days.
All right. Then, you know what? I'm going to ask one more, and then I'll switch to the other topic. Would it be ethical for a brain chip that's inside of a user to ensure its user's survival over another human being in a life or death scenario?
Can you say that again? I'm sorry.
Ooh, this one's tough. So let's say that you had a brain chip implanted in your head, right? And you were in a life or death scenario, and the brain chip decided to override your brain waves and put your survival in its control. Would that be ethical?
I love this question.
That's a. I
This
mean,
is like the railroad tracks. I have two fields of thought here. The first one is context. Depends on the context. If someone's coming at me with a gun and my brain chip's like, you gotta kill this guy before he kills you.
You know what? No, I'm going to make it really fucking difficult for you. You and somebody else are in the fucking middle of the ocean drowning, and there's a rescue boat coming, and it's big enough to hold one of you. You have to both make a decision as to who the fuck's getting on that boat. Your brain chip overrides and just fucking decides to dispose of the other human being. No questions
Okay.
asked.
So, all right, if this is the scenario, then here's the second field of thought. What consumer is going to buy a brain chip that says, if life or death, I don't really know if I'm going to live or not, so we'll just kind of figure it out and flip a coin. Obviously, the consumer's going to say, I want to live in this scenario no matter what, so if I'm buying this, you better ensure that I live.
So let's flip the narrative even further. What if it is you and your girlfriend, or your child, or your mom, and that's who you're with in this scenario, and the brain chip overrides and goes, "No, I'm going to survive."
Now you're just getting into like
Yeah,
the nitty gritty.
No,
This
I'm
is
I'm
like-
making I'm making this one
This is
difficult
like-
on purpose.
Your mother and father are drowning in a pool. You can only save one. Who do you pick? Like, that's like, is there really an answer to that?
Yes.
I guess it depends in a lot of ways.
No, dude, this one, you boys have no escape out of this one. You answer this, bitch.
Oh man, I honestly don't. I plead the fifth. I don't know.
I think it is ethical. Let me tell you why. Again, the chip is just protecting the user's autonomy. If they're, it's the same way. It's like you.
It's like a
You think
parasite.
to yourself, if you ever think about like I'm gonna die, your brain is like, holy cow, that's not gonna happen. I want to be alive like right now and tomorrow. It's like your brain is literally built for you to want to live. So you make decisions that are in your best interest to stay alive now and tomorrow. Obviously, some people have difficulty knowing what decisions are going to kill them sooner, i.e., smoking or drug use, stuff like that. But they don't know, like, they've done it before that hadn't killed them in the past instantly. So they do things that they know will keep them alive now and in the future. Unless you're, like, outrageously depressed and you want to jump off a building. That's a different story. Anyways,
All right, plot
the brain
twist.
chip does
Plot-
the same thing.
Plot twist. The brain chip was implemented to begin with because you had a brain eating disease that you were ultimately going to die from anyways.
Then you should just die. You should just die. This is so nuanced. Just die. If you have
Yeah.
a brain-eating disease and you have no reason to live, just die.
No, I'm just playing. I just want to throw that one in there. Just be like, yeah, let me make you look like an asshole now. But
Very
no, I agree.
Never mind.
I think that it's ethical. I think the scenario really shouldn't matter if you have the brain chip implanted for a reason, and it's just making sure that your survivability is at a maximum. I think it's the natural instinct that you want to survive. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I think it's just human nature. That's like, you want to live now and you want to be alive tomorrow. You ask anyone and you say, do you want to live tomorrow? 90% of people will say yes.
Yeah, I mean it depends on the day for me, but
If you
No,
ask,
just playing.
if you ask someone, if you want to live in 50 years, some people might say no to that. But if you ask them, do you want to live tomorrow? Most people will say, yeah, I think I want to be alive tomorrow.
nah, dude, our entire family would say no. You ask them, they want to be alive a week from today. They no, just no.
Oh man.
I fucking love them. All right, now I'm gonna address this one to the audience. Nvidia, fuck you. I don't know what the fuck your stupid plan was with the 50 series. They fucking suck. The fact that nobody can even get their hands on them is another problem in and of itself. Why did you make such a generationally shit card? And why is it that the 40 series are still out of stock, selling at twice the MSRP? Now, I just wanted to use this as a fucking open session to rant and vent because I tried. I tried to get a card for my boy Alex. I was on 4 different sites. I had everything set up, all my information pre-filled, and for what reason? To try and snag a shit card that may or may not have given me 5 to 7% performance based off of where I was already at.
Yeah,
I appreciate that, by the way.
pretty sure the 4090 Super is better in like every aspect for price per performance.
Yeah, I don't understand. I have beef with Nvidia right now, and it's fine. But
Well, I should have just kept that 4070 I had.
I mean, yeah, no.
I want the
deserve to have a nice
VRAM
card.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like I have a 4090, so I don't really need it, and I didn't really need a new card. But it's just like, dude, that is the worst experience as a buyer ever, and I don't know why they let it happen year after year.
I mean, I want an upgrade right now so bad, but
Dude, pull the trigger and buy one. You won't.
no, I can't find one, homie.
No, just buy one.
Did you see Nvidia? Nvidia is really funny. They have like this really high end chip. It's like $4,000. It's probably more than that actually. It might be like $40,000. And they have a like a restriction on letting other countries like China buy this chip so that America stays ahead in technological developments like AI. But they'll sell
Yeah, and they just got
China
railed.
another chip that's actually not as good of performance by like 5%. So that they're just 5% behind. And for a while that worked. I think since like 2022, this like little restriction has worked really well for Nvidia. Except now China came back with DeepSeek, and they matched with worse hardware. They matched ChatGPT in less time with less money investment. So the NVIDIA this 5% difference thing really doesn't make a big difference at all.
No, and it's because they're heavily relying on AI and just frame upscaling DLSS4. I'm not a fan of the fake frames. I think that if you pay for a high-end graphics card, you should get raw graphical performance. But not everyone agrees with me because frames. I'm getting so many frames. My frames look good. Oh, Cyberpunk. What is Cyberpunk, like 4 years old now? 5 years old? Oh, Cyberpunk looks so good 5 years later. Get over it. All right, let's fucking make sure that we're holding our fucking graphic card manufacturers accountable, because this is just ridiculous. And the fact that the 5090 was $2,000, dude, that's more than my goddamn rent. Right? No,
Dude, holy cow.
not happening. I don't know who the fuck they think they're selling this card for. And I know that there's some little fucker out there who's got, money from whatever it is that they do, or wealthy parents that were able to get it to them, whatever the case may be. And I'm glad. I really am. I'm happy that they get that. But for most average Americans right now, most people live in paycheck to paycheck. Nobody can afford that. I think that we need to, as consumers, do better on trying to get high-end brands and overall just any sort of products that we buy to be at a better price. Because this is getting out of hand, dude. I can't picture 3 years from now when I want to go buy a new graphics card and it's fucking $3,500.
Not
I
looking forward to
actually
that.
fear that it's only going to get worse.
I don't see it getting any better, but hopefully I'm wrong.
I'm pretty sure that as a response to the AI thing, Trump put a tariff on Taiwan for like.
Oh yeah, he's planning on it. Yep.
But the problem with that is that now Taiwan is going to either which I think Trump's goal is to have them open up a factory now in the United States where they can sell these metals and not have to go through the tariff, or two, just not sell to the United States because they have to pay a price on it now, and then the United States has a shortage on these fine metals, and then we have to go elsewhere and find them and get them ourselves. So the prices of these are going to go up, and because of that, things like graphics cards and expensive chips are also going to go up because they rely on the fine metals to function. That's the whole aspect.
I'm really happy that you brought this up, because in my normal group of people that I talk to, this was a widespread debate, and it shouldn't have even been a debate. It should have just been something that, like, this is how tariffs work, and it usually bites the consumer in the ass. It's bad because Taiwan is the leading manufacturer, like you said, of those metals and of that chip that we use in almost all of our electronic devices today. This poses a really big issue to a lot of companies that manufacture in Taiwan, and in Thailand, and I think was it Taiwan or Thailand? I think it was Thailand.
Taiwan.
I think it's Taiwan.
Oh, is it Taiwan? Okay. Regardless, either way, it's still there's still a lot of manufacturing that goes on that gets outsourced to Taiwan, and that's an issue. It's not good. So when we're talking about the sheer cost of these components, do you know how much tariff is for?
I have no idea. Either way, the tariff is making it so that they have to pay to export these.
Yeah. So I can just do a quick Google search in a second, but it's not good. I'm not happy about it. I don't want to see the prices of our normal electronics go up even more. I don't want to see us try to scramble to build the infrastructure to manufacture these metals and these chips, because it takes a long time, and it's going to happen well after Trump's in office, unless he magically can speed up every single process that he needs to go through and can get American workers in the factories that he's thinking of building. But like I said, the roadmap for that is typically really long. So I have mixed feelings about the whole presidency thing. I think there's some good and some bad, but the whole tariff thing, I get it. He's trying to get rid of federal income tax, make sure that we don't have to pay income taxes anymore. But if he's thinking that tariffs are the way to get rid of it, this is an issue.
It's just so crazy when you look at history and see how many presidents have tried to use tariffs before to help the economy, and it's actually just done the opposite. And it's happened without fail every time. And tariffs just don't really work. They don't push the needle in the way that you want them to. But like. I think that if you have someone that's strong enough and thinks it'll work hard enough, they're still gonna pass these things to let them happen. And we'll see how it plays out. But hopefully history doesn't repeat itself in the same way, and the economy gets worse.
Trying to see what he's.
I'm curious what things would be like without the income tax, though.
That would be interesting.
Oh, I got clipped.
I'm Googling this shit too. I think there was a period of time when we didn't have an income tax. I think we were making, like, the U.S. was making most of their money off tariffs, and like, I could be wrong, but I think the economy was doing pretty good back then. But this is like what, the early 1900s, late 1800s, or some shit.
Oh yeah, so you're right. It was Taiwan. And he wants to put 100% tariff on chips. So if he does 100% tariff, that 5090 that is $2,000 now would be $4,000 at release next year, if that was the case.
The chip thing is just like, it's a really interesting idea. It doesn't just stay to chips. Once you mess with one country's economy, it has a lot of downstream effects that affects a lot of different areas too. Have you heard about the H-1B thing too? The H-1B visas?
Yeah.
Basically, if you are a company in the United States and you need employees, you can reach out overseas and hire a bunch of people on H-1B visas to take your positions in the company.
It's a tax incentive because there's a 15% tax on hiring in the U.S. Dylan was talking about that today, actually, one of my buddies.
When you are hiring overseas, you can get a lot of cheap labor, and it's like really beneficial until you fire these people and they get deported and they have to go back home to where, because they don't have a visa anymore, they're not working, they get fired. So it has a lot of implications for these poor people that are just trying to earn money for their family, and they're making like very, very little money, but they got hired to work in the United States, and they're like probably really smart. I'm pretty sure Google is like a big victim or a big culprit of this, is they hire a lot of people on H-1B visas, and then they come over to the U.S. and then they do big layoffs, and then the people get deported and they have to go back home. And the reason they do it is because they don't have to pay people a lot more money that are U.S. citizens, and they can just get people to do cheap labor overseas, and it's like Google wins, big win for Google.
Yeah, I don't like the tech industry that much, if I'm going to be brutally honest. I think it's a very cutthroat industry. I think there's a lot of...
And that doesn't even happen just in tech. That happens everywhere. It's just a matter of like H-1B visas. And people, like, I'm pretty sure Trump has said before in the past that H-1Bs is just kind of like very broken, basically. It's a broken system. But now he's kind of singing to the idea of H-1Bs, probably because he has a lot of support from people that have a lot of money and would benefit from this kind of thing, H-1B visas.
No, agreed.
So you were saying you had that talked about today?
Yeah, literally this morning. It was my buddy Don. He's a very smart guy, and we have a lot of good, stimulating conversations about this stuff. And we try and keep it as like I don't think anybody that I talk to really has any strong opinions about anything, and I value that a lot because it makes for good conversation. So we were just like having a normal conversation about it, and it's just crazy how the incentive is there for them to hire externally, outsourcing, because there's a 15% tax on the U.S. I don't know if that is 100% true or not. I haven't had the chance to fact check that, but he's usually pretty spot on about that stuff because he has to pay attention to it in the field that he's in. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, but I think it's just fucked up because the people who go in and think that, wow, I'm getting a job in the U.S. and I can take care of my family, and then boom, they're the first people to go during layoffs, like you were saying. It's just bullshit.
Yeah, they literally have to by law. They get deported.
Yeah. Lency, I'm going to pan over to you. I don't need an opinion on this. I want to have you feel like you are a big part of this. So I want you to just pitch one topic to us real quick. Anything that you want to talk about.
All right, sounds good. I was gonna say I didn't really know what to say about the H1 visas.
No, and that's
I do
totally
have to
fair.
say
Dude.
though, like I mean I don't know if this is the same thing, but I have a buddy I work with, and he was like, "Yo, I don't want to take the training, so I'm afraid of getting fucking arrested by ICE." And I was like, "Dude, what are you talking about?"
Is this the buddy that you work with at the one that got you the job at your company, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, like, I don't know. I guess I didn't know he wasn't a citizen, but
Oh wow.
he's been here for years though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did he confirm that he wasn't a citizen?
No, I never confirmed it or anything. He didn't really say anything.
Isn't
I mean, I'm sure he's got a
Massachusetts
visa.
a sanctuary state?
I don't. So that's something that I was trying to find out recently. I don't know if the entire state is a sanctuary state, but I know that we have dedicated
Oh,
cities
some
for
cities
sanctuary.
are.
Yeah.
Boston is.
New
New York
Boston.
is.
Boston might be an asterisk, but I know Cambridge is a sanctuary state or city. Sorry.
He was born here, so he's definitely a citizen. I think he's just like, what if I don't have my I don't know, papers on me? I don't know. Maybe he does have a visa or something, or some kind of green card. Cause he's like, what if I don't have my papers on me? They're at home, and I get fucking snagged.
I think his concern is warranted because there was a leaked internal memo or whatever within ICE that was saying oh, if you see anyone who looks like they could be illegal, snatch them up.
Yeah, it's like, ah, fuck.
And it's fucked up for the real genuine people. And I also want to just put a preface here. We are just having an open-ended conversation about all this stuff for good conversation. And it makes for good conversation because this is what most people talk about now. And some of the things that we might say may or may not be factually correct. We don't have the time to fact check everything and make sure that
Dad,
we're
I would
100%
take
accurate.
Everything I say with a big grain of salt.
Yeah,
Same here.
exactly. It's just for good content, good conversation. But if it sparks, any sort of conversation outside of the podcast and gets you guys involved, we're all for it. And I would love to be educated. I'm a huge proponent of learning and being educated at all times, and I'm sure I could say the same about my buddies here with me. So take everything we say with a grain of salt. But definitely, if you guys are seeing this, and you have some opinions, feel free to weigh in. I'm happy to have a conversation about it and learn some more from an opposing view or someone on the same side who has more information than I do readily available. So just want to throw that out there. But anyways, yeah, hit us with a topic, Lindsay. Let's get the let's get the Lindsay lentil soup going.
Let me think. The Lentil lentil soup. I love that. Let's see. I mean, I don't know. I don't really want it. I was gonna bring up just how video games aren't optimized anymore, or when you were talking about just how, I don't know, as years goes on, we're getting shittier graphics cards and shit. How the 50 series is kind of a letdown. I don't know. I feel like video games these days are kind of a letdown too. But I don't really want to. I feel like I'd rather talk about something else though.
If that's something you want to bring up, I'm happy to delve into that.
I mean, I feel like we could bring up a point or two on it and move to something else. But I feel like we already kind of touched on it.
Absolutely. So let's talk about optimization and the lack of support for Linux. These are two things that I've been researching a lot recently. I've contemplated making the switch to Linux on numerous occasions, but found that games like COD, anything that has an kernel level anti-cheat, is not supported on Linux. And it's not because Linux can't support it, it's because the game developers are choosing not to. So it makes it difficult for compatibility between the two operating systems. And if GTA 6 actually releases at $100 dude, I hope the game industry gets a brutal fucking just face check, dude. There's no way.
Isn't it only gonna be on Xbox for a year too?
Yeah.
Xbox
Yeah.
and PlayStation.
And PlayStation, yeah.
Yeah,
You can't
PC
even get it on
doesn't-
PC for a year.
Yeah, and that's
launches.
ridiculous. I'm not paying a fucking year at $100 for a game at release, let alone a year later, dude. Get the fuck out of here with that. That's nuts.
And then what are we gonna get? 40 frames a second or something?
Yeah, because
you're,
they're
you're gonna have to get a fucking 7 by the time it comes out, we'll have the 60 series down. You're gonna have to get a 60 series graphics card. You won't be able to play it.
You're
dude.
gonna need to duel them.
Oh, you're gonna need a fucking 1 terabyte hard drive just for the game itself because you know when that shit.
exactly.
You know when that shit. It's like Call of Duty. Don't get me. Hey, Call of Duty. I love you. You guys are a great franchise, but god damn, your fucking storage optimization is hard.
Take up our hard drive, and then I don't know.
I got my fucking hard drive right now is Call of Duty and 2 other games, and it's full. I miss when back in the days when Xbox you could just fucking download a game and it was like 15 gigs tops. Now we're talking every Call of Duty update is fucking 15 to 20 gigs. Unreal.
And like, I'll admit, this game that came out, I'm feeling like I'm really seeing the age of my graphics card. I feel like I'm getting way less frames. And I have to run it at lower settings than the last one that came out.
So, and this is I'm gonna jump way the fuck back on this. Your background is in finance, and you decided to build a PC. What was your experience building your PC like?
Oh, dude, I loved it. I mean, don't get me wrong, there were several times I got frustrated as hell, but once I finished it, it was very rewarding.
Did you encounter anything that made you feel like, man, fuck this, I made a mistake? Or was it one of those things where you just genuinely enjoyed it all the way through and you would do it again?
Oh, I genuinely enjoyed it all the way through. I mean, there were some times I got frustrated and pissed, and like, I also took it at my own pace. Like, I feel like I worked on it maybe for a few weeks, because I could only work on it on the weekends, and like maybe a few hours at a time on the weekends, and I don't know, it took me a lot of time just to kind of figure some things out, but once I was finished, I was pretty proud of myself.
And it's fair to say that building your PC kind of kicked off that tech itch.
Yeah, I mean, I do enjoy nerding out on tech stuff. Like, dude, I didn't know what a NVIDIA 3070 Ti was before I did this, or the 4070 Super and all that shit, and I think all that stuff's pretty interesting, like the specs and whatnot.
No, absolutely. So
With
if
the AI stuff too. I don't know.
if stock availability wasn't an obstacle, what card would you pursue right now?
Probably a 4080, honestly.
Hell yeah, that was a good choice.
I think I'd go with that over any of the 50 series shit.
I'd have to agree.
To be honest.
I think
But it sucks. I mean, I've been going on Google every day. Not every day, but I was on here before, and I think you can get a 4080 for like $2,000 off fucking eBay. Why would I do
Yeah.
that?
I wonder how much the 4090 is going for. Like if I were to just list it for shits and giggles.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be. What's crazy too, because like if I go on PC Part Picker, the 30 set like my graphics card 3070 Ti is still going for like $800 in certain places, and it's like, why would you pay $800 for a 30 series card? Makes no sense.
The only time I experienced paying like aftermarket price was when I bought a 3080 Ti, and I sold fucking dude. What I sold? I don't even know what I sold at the time, but I think I sold my old PC just to break even on the price of the graphics card. And then I had to buy the rest of the I got clipped. God damn, fucking damn it, you piece of shit. But then I had to buy the rest of the PC. So I like didn't really save any money. It was unreal. And I feel bad because I was one of the lucky ones that got my 4090 for cost. But like, I see the pain that you're going through trying to get one. It's rough.
I mean, I'm probably just gonna wait till they're more available and just get like a 50 series card at Micro Center.
Yeah, dude, I love Micro Center. If I could.
Like, I feel like at the end of the day, you're not gonna pay some crazy price there. You don't get screwed. I don't know. It's a great place.
If I had an unlimited budget and I could only pick one store to shop at for the rest of my life, I think I would happily pick Micro Center.
Yeah.
It's a great store.
What's cool too, they have like a program. If you buy a graphics card there, you could trade it in there. I don't know. If you don't want to have to go deal with fucking selling stuff on Facebook Marketplace and all that stuff, kind of worth it. Just keep getting your graphics cards there, getting all your upgrades there.
That is a good. I like that. That is pretty sick.
Oh, and not to like get off topic or anything. Another reason I'm pretty proud of myself for building a PC, or not proud, but I like how I don't have to just get a whole new system all at once. I can upgrade this as I go. So I feel like it's kind of cheaper. I feel like it's cheaper in the long run. It's like, oh, maybe I can just get, maybe it's not cheaper in the long run, but oh, if you want to upgrade the CPU, it's only like a couple $100.
Now, in your next
Depending on what
build,
you have to replace.
would you stay Intel or would you go AMD with your next
I'd probably
build?
go AMD.
Hell yeah, I respect the fuck out of that, my
Like,
guy.
my plan, get a new graphics card for now, and then maybe a year or two down the road, then maybe just get a whole new, like, get a new motherboard, obviously, and then
everything
get a new
doesn't matter
CPU.
besides fucking,
It'll probably be, what,
the
maybe
new,
like $400 all together, like that time around.
I'm working on that right now.
Get like an AIO or something.
You're definitely looking at like a couple. It depends on what CPU you go with, what motherboard you go
Yeah,
with.
I'd probably get something pretty good, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I
you'd
feel
probably
like
be looking like $600-700 altogether.
Yeah, which isn't bad when I don't know, getting everything at once. Like, oh, I'm spending that much money, so I don't know. I feel like I'll be more inclined to like spend more money on the CPU and motherboard. Probably the CPU more. I don't know. I feel like you can get a pretty. I don't know. I feel like you can get any AMD motherboard for relatively. No, not that expensive.
100%. I think most people usually skimp out on the motherboard too.
Yeah, not that. Yeah, I know what you mean. And it's not like you're really skimping out on anything.
No, but I remember the first time I built a
I mean,
PC.
I wouldn't get a fucking. Yeah, I wouldn't get a motherboard that you can get at the bottom of a fucking box of cereal, if you know what I mean. But
Oh, whoops, a piece of candy. Oh, my bad. I finished my Cheerios. Looks like somebody left their motherboard in here.
but you don't have to go buy the most expensive one.
Nah, I completely agree with you, dude. I wonder if Anthony remembers. Do you remember the first PC let me rephrase, the first PC I kept?
Was it the Alienware?
No, that one was. Oh my god, I do remember that one. Do you remember the cube I built with the dual 970s?
Oh yeah, you had two
That
of them.
thing.
You ran
Yeah,
them in
that-
raid.
Yep.
I think I remember that too. Not gonna lie.
Dude, for absolutely no reason. I was like, what, 12, 13?
How did you get
Honestly,
I didn't know anything about that stuff either, and I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool, dude."
yeah. No, so remember all those times I used to help do the pool and like open the pool, clean the pool, take care of it, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I missed those.
I
days.
didn't know that he was secretly like contributing to a fund. So like he was basically paying me like I was an employee of his, and would continually put that away. And then one day I was just like, oh man, like I think it'd be sick to build a computer and get into computers. And he didn't know anything about it, so he was just like, is this something that you really want? And I was like, yeah. And then he just pulled out the account, the information that he had for it, and he was like, this is the balance that you have. Is that something that you can do? And I just did a ton of research, dude, and I didn't stop. Like little 11, 12, I think I was 11 when I started researching, and then 12 when I actually built it, the first one on my own. So I just was grinding, learning as much as I could. So in a way, I have to contribute everything, or like who I am today, to him. 'Cause if it wasn't for me building that PC, I would have never gotten to tech, and I would have never been the first person at AutoStore to get an engineering role without an engineering degree. So, I love you, Papa.
Ah. Heart warmed.
Maybe tear up.
Yeah.
So you had two 970s in that bad Larry?
That bad Larry was two 970s,
What
and
did you
I
do with
always
two
kept it on
970s?
green. Yeah, bro, we were fucking. You know, you honestly really want to know what motivated me to do it?
I do.
The fact that you used to bully me on my stupid fucking compact laptop in Minecraft, and you'd use that stupid fucking stick and just spam lightning and crash my PC.
Oh, you're so right. I used to do the power tool on a
Yeah.
stick, and every time I would click my mouse, it would strike lightning.
Yeah, and you used to
And I would just
crash my
jitter
PC.
click a little bit, and then you'd get screwed. That's
I
hilarious.
died.
I forgot about that.
I wanted to actually kill you. It's alright. We're good though, because, you know, look who's laughing now, Milk Boy.
Took me a second to get.
Oh,
That's
shit.
hilarious.
That is a good one. I think.
So,
Oh, actually, what was the first game that you like vividly remember? Because the one that usually comes to my mind, not that it was the first game I ever played, but just like whenever I think of like first game, I think of when we were like 6. I'm like 6. I think of like when we were like 6 and we were at my mom's house and we played Resident Evil 3 and the zombie facehugger thing just came and fucking like jumped out of nowhere, and it was that cut screen and both of us were scared shitless and we ran away.
That game was scary as a kid.
Yeah. I will never forget that. Anthony and I went from playing Lego Star Wars to fucking Resident Evil
kidding.
3 on like the new gen console, and we both just booted it up, got through the initial cutscene, and screamed and ran away.
Shit looked so real back in the day too.
Yeah. I'll never forget that. That
Not
was a
bad
rough time.
game, but one of the Resident Evil games, like one of my first games ever on PS2.
Oh, okay. So
And it
you were
wasn't even
Resident
for
Evil.
me. my parents got it because they're like, oh, there's a girl in this game. We'll get it for Ariana. I ended up playing it.
That's so fucking funny.
And
Definitely
it was
not
some
the
rated
game
M
for
for
her.
mature zombie game.
Dude, that's awesome.
I had no idea what the hell they were buying, dude.
So is that the first game that you remember?
No, dude, I remember playing a bunch of games in like Windows 98 back in the day.
So what was the first game like? If you what's the first game that pops into your head when you think of the first game?
Honestly, I'd say either Age of Empires. Actually, no, I know. There was some game, you guys are not gonna know what the hell this is. It's some game. My dad bought a joystick back in the day for like Windows 98, and it came with this game called Urban Assault. I'd say that's probably the first thing I remember. And it was just, I don't know how to describe it. It was this like sci-fi Microsoft game for Windows 98. And that's literally all it was. It was weird.
I respect it. What about you, Anthony? What when you think of like first game?
Pokemon.
What goes?
Pokemon Diamond on the DS.
Oh, with Dialga? Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that's my favorite Pokemon game
My
of all
uncle
time.
got me a DS. I was probably 5 or 6. He got me a DS, and he got me. I had the choice between Pokemon Diamond or Pearl, and I chose Diamond because I like blue more than pink. And then I gave him the pink one. And then I played Diamond. I had no idea what I was doing, but he taught me all the ropes, and I started to learn. I chose Piplup as my starter. I got Empoleon. Ever since, I've been a Pokemon fan, to say the least.
Yeah, dude, we should play PokeMMO one day.
Pokemon is so fun. I actually got to get back into that.
That was fun. I think once we get tired of Minecraft, transfer over to PokeMMO.
I won 8.
Have you ever played Pokemon, Alex?
Oh, back in the day, like on maybe like a Game Boy or something.
Yeah.
Do you remember it very
I made
much? or
my
no?
own Game Boy.
I remember
I
a
got a
little bit.
custom shell. I got the. I bought an AGS 001 screen because that one has the backlit screen instead of the one that doesn't have the screen. You have to put like a light over it just to see anything.
Yes, I remember that. The thing was nice, dude. I think you were the one who originally got me into handheld too.
Remember the
The
Game Boy
DS.
SP? That thing was nice.
Yeah, dude. So many good like old school consoles. Like now, mark
Yeah.
my words, yo. When I get a house,
Now they... Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
no, dude, you go.
Alright. Now that you mention it, first game I remember playing, it honestly could be something with the Game Boy. I remember getting a Game Boy with my aunt. We went down to Toys R Us, and I got the one that you could see through. You know how they had the one where you could see like the internal components and all that.
Yeah.
Like the purple one or whatever. I got that, and like some Simpsons Treehouse of Horror game for it. I don't know how long ago that was, but dude, remember freaking Toys R Us?
That thing has been extinct since what?
For
Like,
odd. Probably since like probably before 2010, honestly.
yeah,
Mid 2000s, maybe. I can't remember.
definitely. That's crazy.
That place was a spot back in the day.
I miss Toys R Us.
Yeah, dude, I remember.
What I was gonna say though is, when I get a home and it is actually suitable to my standards and needs, dude, my basement, I just want to have like a good collection of just hobbies and things I'm interested in. So like, I want to have a bunch of Star Wars memorabilia. I want to have a bunch of old school consoles that really got me into things. Like, I want to, like, if I'm fortunate enough, like an old school graphic card collection too.
Dude, like a PS2 or something hanging up.
Yeah, dude, just like, readily available to be plugged in and used if I ever decide that I want to feel nostalgic, you know?
Yeah, which is cool, man. Well, that's why
I
I'm
love
there now. Age of Empires. I've been playing that a lot lately, just because I don't know, partly the nostalgia factor, but I actually love that game.
It's not just the fact that you're a history nerd.
That too. I do like the history component of it.
What was that show that we used to watch back in the day?
Oh, I
Fucking
remember this. I know exactly what you're talking
Deadliest
about.
Warrior?
Yeah, dude, I remember watching the Ranger versus like the North Korean soldier or something.
Yeah, I used to be such a menace that
Shit like that.
Alex had to calm me down by showing me fucking just bare brute strength in America's Deadliest War. Or wait, what was it?
It might be Ultimate Warrior. I think it
Ultimate
might
Warrior?
be Ultimate Warrior. It was on
Yeah,
Spike
dude.
TV.
Yep, I remember that. Oh man, there's some good
There's
times.
some cool
dude.
ones too. I'm honestly, I can't think of many off the top of my head right now, but
Oh fuck, there's so many. I'll have to revisit that for the next episode. But
yeah,
you know
maybe
what's
do a
funny?
little research. Remember which ones were good? I can't remember.
You wanna know what's funny is that the amount of times that you and I hung out and the amount of times that me and Anthony hung out are pretty similar. But like we never. How many times would you say we've all crossed paths together and been in the same room?
Have we ever?
Probably like twice,
A few times.
like 2 or 3 times.
We were young though.
Like I know that Alex came over one Christmas Eve with us while we were together. You know what I mean?
I
Like
Very rare.
I must
It was a
have-
rare occurrence.
I must have been like a teenager.
it was prior, but it was way before you left for college. So that, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I must have been maybe 13.
Like, but I was just thinking
Could
about
even
that.
been
I'm
in high
like,
school, 15,
I'm-
16.
it's like it's so funny. It's like I'm close with both of you, but I don't think we've all been in the same room for more than like 3 different occasions.
But you know what? We gotta start hanging out more.
I agree. I think it would be good once I can figure out where the hell I'm going next.
Dude,
trying
if
to
you
move?
move to... Oh, dude, I mean, if you have to go in the office more often, bro, if you have to move to New Hampshire, bro... I got a
Yeah,
buddy
so-
up in... I have a buddy up in Manchester, or he's near Manchester, so we go up there sometimes. It's not that bad of a ride.
That's one thing that I'm trying to figure out. It's like, you know, now that I'm gonna have to be in the office at least 2 days a week. Where am I gonna go? You know, because I'm not gonna want to do this commute now.
I also want to have a party at my place, like, early summer. Which is kind of... I shouldn't say it's coming up, but we're already in February.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's flying by this year already. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
It felt
Yeah.
like January was both the longest month and the fastest month.
Yeah, I swear to God, we also just said that today. How January felt like it was so fucking long.
But it's fast at the same time.
It was just so busy.
Yeah.
Like it flew
Yeah.
by.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, I want to have a... I'll let you both you boys are more than welcome to come.
I gotta have a potty on my deck. I gotta use my deck.
Oh, I mean, I want to, dude. I might even invite some people
Your
from
deck is
work.
pretty nice.
Thanks, homie.
Oh man, you sure that's a good idea? You
Some
really
of
wanna-
those, some
really-
people are cool. Like I feel like some people can hang.
Your buddy.
Not that
Brian,
like
for
people
sure.
can't, but dude, Brian's good shit, dude. He likes the Boondocks. You two would hit it off.
Yeah, I'm worried about
Like-
everybody else.
Nah, I know what you mean. Like, dude, some people are wicked chill though. It's just I don't know. Some people might get offended by certain jokes and whatnot, but
No, 100%. And that's the thing
you
too.
just
It's
never
just
know.
like, you never know what
Like, I
type
have
of
to get to
audience
know
you're
them more.
catering to. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Like even
you
Brian
always-
goes, dude, there's not a kid from our office that we wouldn't hang out with.
Oh, well, that's awesome.
But could I introduce those people to like all my close friends and I don't know. Dude, funny enough too, so I have a client, one of my clients, his family owns some some broadcasting company or something down south. And he's like in his like late 30s or whatever, but apparently he's like a party boy or something, so when he visits, like they all go out and he pounds like 20 beers. Dude, if I invited him, he'd probably be like, oh yeah, I'll come to Revere and hang out on your deck. Terrible idea, but kind of sick.
Facts. All right, boys. I think, unless anyone else has anything else they would like to go over, talk about, I think we've hit our podcast mark for episode 3.
I think that's a wrap.
I'm
Zaramsky?
very honored. Thank you, boys, for having me.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I know you were nervous about coming on.
Yeah, I was a
but
little. I was stumbling over my words early on, but I feel like I really kind of, I don't know, got comfortable towards the end.
That's what I mean. It's like we're doing this for fun. We're here to have good conversation, have a good time. If people watch it, people watch it. If they don't, they don't. But I like it, dude. It's just an outlet to kind of just put information, thoughts, opinions out there. You know.
I mean, I'm down to come on again if you boys have me.
Absolutely, dude. I think it's like I said, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, Anthony said it too. When I asked him if it was good to have you on, he's like, yeah, dude, the more the merrier. And it's like, all right, sick. Like, I like that. It's just good conversation. It's nice to connect and talk to people and get different opinions, different views. Like I said, I know I'm kind of just repeating myself like I'm a broken record, but
I hear you. I can do the same thing. So
funny enough, I just unlocked the gold camo and I wasn't even trying to.
Oh, yeah.
This guy.
maybe next time I'm on, maybe I can. I don't know. I feel like there is some stuff I've been not learning, but like just exposed to at my new job. That's pretty interesting. Now maybe I can. I didn't want to like talk too much about that stuff, but
It's totally fair.
maybe next time I'm on as I warm up for this stuff.
Hell yeah. Alrighty, boys. We'll see you on episode 4. Peace.
All right, peace.